ट्यूटोरियल शेयर किए थे, है ना। तो मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप लोगों ने वो वीडियो देखे होंगे और वो टॉपिक्स पढ़े होंगे जो कि वीडियो से डिस्क्राइब थे। ओके, स्टिल I will repeat those topics. So let's continue. So in previous class we were talking about uh, the transport layer services and the quality of service that is expected from a transport layer protocol or service. So you know that transport layer of the TCP/IP offers two data transportation protocol. Uh, so these data transportation protocols delivers data that is sent, that is handed over to it by uh, an application process, and then the protocol delivers the data to corresponding recipient process. Okay, so what actually this protocol delivers data uh, between two processes. One process that is generating data, it takes the data from that process and then it delivers that data to the corresponding recipient process. Okay, so now we have talked about that the applications that are transmitting data require certain quality of service from such protocols. One was timely delivery, throughput guarantee, and reliability. That means without loss, transmission of the data without any loss, and security. Okay, these were the four services, quality of service expectation from the transport protocol. Uh, then we saw that there are two protocols that are offered by transport layer protocol. One is called TCP and another is UDP. And transport layer protocol, that is TCP, offers certain kind of services. UDP offers different kind of services. Actually, both are transport services, but the quality of service are different for both of the protocols. Hmm? And that comes because of the mechanism that is followed by in these protocols for data transmission. For example, if we talk about TCP, so TCP is a connection oriented protocol. What is the meaning of connection orientation? So connection orientation means when TCP starts data transmission, then it requires, or it what it does, that it establishes a connection. You can think of is a kind of dialogue actually before doing data transmission. For example, suppose let me give you a realistic example of a connection. For example, suppose there is a person that is going through on the road, and you want to ask him that can you tell me where is Mahabodhi temple? How we can reach Mahabodhi temple from this location? Okay, you just want to know that from that person. So there is one way of communicating, is that you just directly throw a question on him, that can you tell me how I can reach Mahabodhi temple from the place where you are or where I am. Okay, now it may be the case that person may hear you or person may not hear you. So depending on that, and also the attitude or intention of the person, you may get answer or you may not get answer. Okay, this is one approach. Here you are not establishing any kind of connection. We will say that since you are not engaging him in any kind of dialogue, or you are not making any kind of making him alert, or you are not making him to enter into an interaction with you, this approach is called connectionless approach. Now there may be another approach where you can do that. You can do the following things. First, you tell him hi. Then he also replied with hi. Uh, then you may tell him your name. He may also tell him name. Then you ask, can I ask you one question? He says that, yeah, you can ask one. You can ask as many of questions you like. He just, let's assume that he responds like that. Then you ask that, can you tell me how I can reach Mahabodhi temple from here, and most probably he will give you the answer if you know how to reach Mahabodhi temple from that place. So now this mechanism is actually a kind of mechanism where you have entered in with that person into a kind of conversation or dialogue. Okay, so this approach is known as connection oriented approach. Why we are saying that it is connection oriented? Because you have got his attention, his or her attention towards you, and then you are starting communication, and you are only starting communication when he or she have shown willingness for communication. So this is called connection oriented approach. The other one was connectionless approach. Okay, I hope now you might be clear with you may be clear with what is connection oriented approach. Then TCP offers reliable delivery. uh, so reliable delivery means whatever you will hand over to TCP, whatever a process will hand over a TCP, it will be delivered ultimately to the recipient process. That means it will do a kind of guaranteed delivery. Then flow control is also done by TCP. So TCP will take care of that sender process should not overwhelm the receiver. Then it will also do the congestion control. Congestion control is done to avoid any kind of congestion on the router. Actually, what is the meaning of congestion on router? When a router receives the amount of traffic that is not that it cannot handle, then we say that router is congested, and this phenomena at the router is called congestion. So congestion is a event that may affect throughput of your internet, your network, and also it can incur packet loss. So you should actually handle it. So TCP do something. TCP have a mechanism to handle congestion. Actually, it actually do some do it follows a set of mechanisms so that a router may not get congested. Okay, and if a router is going to be congested, then it will tells the senders to reduce their transmission rate. Okay, but it does not provide any kind of timing guarantee. It cannot provide any kind of throughput related guarantee, or it does not offer any security. So if you want to implement all these surveys over TCP, sorry, if you want to implement all these services over TCP, like timing guarantee, minimum throughput, then you have to come up with your implementation. आपको अपने खुद के implementation करना पड़ेंगे इन चीजों को इंश्योर करने के लिए. That means you have to do programming on top of TCP to provide all these things, whatever quality of service you require. But if let's talk about UDP. UDP is a kind of unreliable data transfer service because this service does not establish any kind of connection between sender and receiver. So since you are not entering into the dialogue prior to actually doing any kind of data transfer with the receiver, so it may be the case that when you are sending something, but receiver may not be ready to accept, or receiver is not willing to accept actually. Yeah. So that's why it is called unreliable service. Okay, it is a, however, best effort delivery service similar to your post, but it does not guarantee any kind of reliable delivery. That is, if an application gives data to UDP protocol, it is not guaranteed that that data will be delivered to the recipient process. Okay, data may be lost. Then TCP, you know that TCP does flow control and congestion control, but UDP doesn't do any such kind of steps. Okay, it doesn't care. You can say that it doesn't care about flow control and congestion control. Okay. Also, it doesn't provide any kind of timing guarantee, minimum throughput guarantee, and security. Okay, so it just do the delivery of the data. Actually, it just does the delivery of the data. It doesn't provide any kind of quality of service. So if you suppose that you want to use UDP as the transport protocol, and you want to have any kind of these services like a reliable service you want to have, or if you want to have timing related guarantee or minimum throughput related guarantee, you have to do your own implementation. Okay, उसके लिए आपको अपने खुद के मैकेनिज्म डेवलप करके इंप्लीमेंट करना पड़ेंगे ऑन टॉप ऑफ द यूडीपी. Now question arises when if UDP is not doing any kind of stuff except just delivering the data, and that is also not guaranteed, then why UDP is there? What is the need of UDP? The answer is that many applications, the advantage of UDP is actually, you might have not noticed here, is that since it does not require any kind of connection, so you just immediately do not want to tolerate any kind of delay that is related to that is occurred by connection orientation protocol. So actually, TCP, we will talk about how TCP establishes a connection. So in order to establish a connection, TCP actually sends some control packets before and doing actual data transfer. ठीक है, डेटा ट्रांसफर से पहले टीसीपी कई सारे कंट्रोल पैकेट्स भेजता है रिसीवर को, एंड देन दे एंटर इनटू अ डायलॉग. Okay, so it takes time actually. So that's why there is a connection setup delay associated with TCP protocol. So whenever you establish a TCP connection for data transmission, a connection setup delay is incurred. That is around 1.5 RTT. We will talk about that. Okay, but in case of UDP, there is no delay. There is no such kind of delay. Okay, so that means if an application uh, implements services of UDP, it can immediately send its data. Okay, no setup delay will be required. And also the protocol is very simple because it doesn't do a lot of stuff. Simply delivery karta hai, so it is simple. It is a simple protocol. So if you want to make your application very much simple, you can use UDP. Similarly, many protocols that actually uh, do the network management, like SNMP and ICMP, there are a lot of protocols are there that are associated with network management. So those protocols requires to send immediate data immediately. They want to send data immediately. So the UDP is very much suitable for them. And UDP is lightweight. Another advantage is that when we will see both of the protocols in detail, you will notice that UDP sends only very small packet and its overhead is very much less. UDP में जो packet का data overhead है, that is very small. So that's why UDP is very much suitable for the applications that does not want to incur any kind of overhead. They do not want to wait for any kind of data transmission. They do not want to incur or want to tolerate any kind of delay similar to the connection setup delay and connection tear down delay. जब आप कनेक्शन सेटअप करते हैं तो आपको उसको क्लोज भी करना होता है. ओके, तो उसमें भी डिले लगता है. सो दैट्स व्हाई यूडीपी इज यूज्ड बाय मेनी प्रोटोकॉल्स, स्पेशली ज्यादातर नेटवर्क मैनेजमेंट से रिलेटेड या एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से रिलेटेड जो प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं, सिमिलर लाइक राउटिंग प्रोटोकॉल्स आल्सो यूजेस यूडीपी सर्विसेज ऑफ यूडीपी. Okay, even multimedia applications also uses UDP because UDP does not do flow control, congestion control. Okay, so we will see that because of congestion control of TCP, many times TCP automatically reduces your transmission rate, and it may suffer your multimedia applications. So many times, what multimedia applications, if you want to implement, or many people implement multimedia applications, they used to prefer UDP. They run their services over the UDP because UDP does not reduce their data rate by just seeing that network is going to be overloaded or that. Okay. Now let's talk about certain applications. Which application uses which kind of protocol? You may have use email. I think everybody uses email, and you may have multiple accounts as well. So email is a service that is implemented over network. We will talk about how email works or what is the protocol behind it. SMTP protocol is behind this application, and it is defined in this RFC 82821, and it uses services of TCP. You know that email is a data transmission service. Actually, you send text, and you know that text cannot tolerate data loss. So that's why it is implemented over TCP. Remote terminal access, again, this is a protocol that uses services of TCP. The protocol, you know that is the telnet. It is defined in this RFC. Okay. And since again it is a protocol that sends important components like important things and text, like uh, you just issue and many commands in order to control a remote machine. So those commands are important and they need to be delivered to uh, the process, the recipient process actually. So that's why this protocol cannot supports that this protocol uses services of
हेलो
TCP.
सर।
Huh?
सर रिमोट टर्मिनल एक्सेस क्या है सर?
Remote machine access. If you want to do log into a remote machine and you want to work on that machine, okay, suppose you are at your home and you want to work on the PC that is in your lab, okay, and you want to access your machine that is running in your lab, so you can use telnet protocol, that is remote terminal access protocol. So remote login, it is a service. So you know that there are a lot of protocols are there for remote login. Some proprietary protocols are also there, and telnet is the most common protocol. रिमोट मशीन को लॉग इन करने के लिए यूज होता है, उसको एक्सेस करने के लिए. Then there is application World Wide Web, where a web server hosts a set of web pages and client can access those web pages. So the underlying protocol is HTTP, which is also uses services of TCP. So all these protocols are actually these services or these applications are database data type applications. Actually, they actually work with text data. Okay, so that's why all these protocols or services uses TCP uh, services at the transport layer. Okay, now streaming multimedia application, that means online streaming like YouTube, and if you view video or online movie like on Dailymotion or kind of such video portal, generally these streaming protocols either uses TCP or UDP. It depends on you what services you want to implement. Generally, if you want to have more control how your application will work, then you should go for UDP. If but when you chooses UDP to implement, then you have to do lot of effort to build your application. आपको बहुत सारे टास्क के लिए प्रोग्रामिंग एक्स्ट्रा खुद करना पड़ेगी. इफ यू वांट टू इम्प्लीमेंट रिलायबिलिटी, आपको एडिशनल कुछ प्रोग्रामिंग करना पड़ेगी. अगर आप थ्रूपुट गारंटी इंप्लीमेंट करना चाहते हैं, यू हैव टू डू इट योरसेल्फ. ओके, यूडीपी ये नहीं करता है. बट सपोज यू डू नॉट वांट टू डू ऑल दीज थिंग्स, आप अपना एप्लीकेशन डेवलपमेंट के टास्क को बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं करना चाहते हैं, देन यू कैन गो फॉर टीसीपी, क्योंकि टीसीपी एटलीस्ट आपको रिलायबल डिलीवरी दे रहा है. बाकी का काम जो है आप एडिशनली इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं. तो हाउएवर टीसीपी के साथ प्रोग्रामिंग करना इजी हो सकता है. यूडीपी के साथ आपको बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ेगी. यू हैव टू बिल्ड वट एवर यू वांट टू इम्प्लीमेंट योरसेल्फ. टीसीपी में रिलायबल डिलीवरी के लिए आपको हेडेक नहीं देना है, और रिलायबल डिलीवरी यू we will see that when we will understand TCP, we will study TCP, then you will understand what is how much it is difficult to ensure reliable delivery on your on internet. It is not a very easy task. ठीक है, तो सिमिलरली थ्रूपुट गारंटी, ऑल दीज गारंटीज जो आपको इंप्लीमेंट करना है, दैट इज नॉट easy to do. Okay, so many people go for TCP and many go for UDP. तो दोनों अपने अपने दोनों के प्रोस एंड कॉन्स हैं. इंटरनेट टेलीफोनी टिपिकली जो SIP प्रोटोकॉल के थ्रू होता है, या RTP और स्काईपी, ये सब ज्यादातर केस में UDP यूज करते हैं. ओके, बट इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि आप UDP ही इस्तेमाल करें. यू कैन गो फॉर TCP एज वेल, लेकिन जनरली UDP इज प्रेफर्ड. इस टॉपिक पर हम बहुत और बाद में भी बात करेंगे डिटेल में. ओके, now let's talk about some application layer protocols. In this unit we will study some of the application layer protocols. So the first application layer protocol, which is very much common on internet, is Wave. And underlying this is the Wave is an application. Actually it is an application, and HTTP is the underlying protocol that works under the Wave actually. So it is a protocol that actually do data transmission over the internet. Let's talk about this. So let's have some introduction about this. You may be knowing that this protocol Wave was implemented by Tim Berners-Lee. So before this protocol, actually, you know that in the initial stage of internet, internet was not very much popular. only popular among actually common people actually. That I want to say. Popular तो था लेकिन it was not so much popular now as it is nowadays. Okay, initially before 90, the internet was used by various universities in United States and Europe, and some government organizations, and some companies was also using internet. And most of the services that were working on internet was like file transfer and emailing kind of things. तो बहुत कम सर्विसेज इंटरनेट के ऊपर उस समय अवेलेबल थी. देन टिम बर्नर्ली ने सोचा कि he just thought of a new application that can be put content on the internet, and those contents can be accessed by the people. So he imagined, or he developed a application that was later known as the web, or for that it actually implemented a complete protocol that is called WWW, World Wide Web. So it have a so before to doing all these things, he developed a lot of technologies and lot of terms he had defined. So the first thing he developed, the first challenge, actually, if you understand the idea of the wave, the idea of wave was that, what Tim Berners-Lee's idea was that he wanted that some content, let's say, suppose that you are a company and you do some product development, and you want that the information about all the products that you are developing, how you are working, what technology you are working, all these information you want to put on a machine. And these contents can be read by anyone on the internet who is accessing internet. So to implement this idea, he developed he follows the client server architecture, and he developed the idea that there will be a server that will host the information that you are going to put there, and the information that you want to deliver your customers, or the people that are interested in your services and organization. Okay, so the wave actually followed client server architecture. So again, all the contents that you want to publish there will be published here. Okay, so now it was required that how the contents need to be published on this server. Content कैसे रखे जाए पर server पर. So he developed a concept of web pages. He developed a concept of web page. जैसे आप अगर कोई बुक को पढ़ना चाहते हैं लाइब्रेरी में, आपके पास इन लाइब्रेरी यू हैव लॉट ऑफ बुक्स, एंड आप किसी भी बुक को लेकर के उसके पेजेस को रीड कर सकते हो. तो सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ थिंग was also imagined by him, and but he does not want to have isolated web pages. Actually, he want to have a web page that is interconnected. Okay, so he developed a language that is called HTML. Because normally document अगर आप देखेंगे, if you write a document in your Word, the document does not point out to any other document, but he imagined a document or set of contents where one web page is there, and this web page may be pointing out to another web page, and this web page may be pointing out to another web page, and this page may be pointing out to this web page back. That means he want to have a web page that are a set of web pages on the server that are interconnected with each other. Okay, so in order to establish these kind of links, he developed a language that is called hypertext markup language. Okay, so hypertext means where text can point to another text, or you can say that a text that contains hyperlinks, or hyperlinks. Hyperlink means a link that that connects one document with another document. Okay, so he just imagined this kind of set of pages that are linked to each other, and he put those pages there. He published actually those pages there, and those pages cannot be expressed in normal text. क्योंकि ये जो pages हैं, ये आप word type के document में नहीं लिख सकते, because in Word nowadays you have link, but initially that cannot be imagined. So simple documents cannot point to other document. So that's why this kind of structure create करने के लिए he developed a language that is called HTML at that time. एंड देन आप देखेंगे HTML में भी अब बहुत सारे वेरिएंट और बहुत सारे मॉडिफिकेशंस हो चुके हैं. So he came up with this concept web page, and he then implemented all these things in a application or service that is called Wave. World Wide Web. It is the smart short form of World Wide Web. World Wide Web. Okay, and now all these documents are published here. Okay, statically. Nowadays things have been changed, but initially the documents were published as it is, and then the client who want to access, suppose that you want to see this web page that is available here. Actually these web pages are there, so you can think of these are a network of pages actually. And suppose you want to access this web page, so you use a machine, you have a software that is called client. Generally the client application is browser. In this case, you know what is browser. Browser is an application that can be used to access the HTML pages, or you can say that web pages. Now your web page is not simply a web HTML page. अब इसमें कई सारी लैंग्वेजेस के कंटेंट्स होते हैं. इट कैन बी ए PHP पेज, ASP पेज और सो ऑन, और मिक्स भी हो सकता है. ओके, एंड इट
सर
कंटेन्स अ
ब्राउजर
लॉट
में
ऑफ
ब्राउजर में गूगल ये सब ना सर.
हाँ, ब्राउजर आप जानते हैं जितने, लॉट ऑफ ब्राउजर्स आर देयर. टिम बर्नर-ली ने एक अपना सिंपलेस्ट ब्राउजर बनाया था. बाद में नेटस्केप नेविगेटर केम. एक ब्राउजर था नेटस्केप नेविगेटर, यू माइट हैव हर्ड द नेम. नेटस्केप कंपनी थी, उसने बनाया था. तो टिम बर्नर-ली ने जो ब्राउजर बनाया, दैट वाज वेरी मच सिंपल, नॉर्मल ब्राउजर था. तो द ब्राउजर एक्चुअली वाज एन एप्लीकेशन एक्चुअली दैट कैन डिस्प्ले दीज वेब पेजेस. सो दिस ब्राउजर is actually also part of this application actually. इसी सर्विस के तौर पर इंप्लीमेंट किया गया, कंपोनेंट के तौर पर. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि उन्होंने केवल प्रोटोकॉल बनाया. ही डेवलप्ड लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स. वेब पेजेस को कैसे इंप्लीमेंट करना है, कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करना है, जो इन्फॉर्मेशन यू वांट टू पब्लिश ऑन द सर्वर, हाउ दैट इन्फॉर्मेशन नीड टू बी displayed or put on through the into the server. So he defined the concept of web page. Now web page में आप कंटेंट पुट करना चाहते थे, but that content should have hyperlinks. That means the contents should be interlinked with each other, और आप एक पेज से दूसरे पेज पर आसानी से मूव कर पाए. So he come up with the concept of web page, and now this web page is actually a page that have links to other pages. But links को represent करने के लिए आपको now this page does not contain normal text, it contains hypertext. And hypertext का मतलब होता है a text that have links to others. और links implement करने के लिए और इस text को display करने के लिए he came up with a language that is called HTML, hypertext markup language. And markup का मतलब होता है you give the formatting information within the text itself actually. लेकिन जब आप मार्कअप में HTML पेज देखेंगे, you may not understand the page properly. So that's why it is important that this page need to be translated in a normal text page where links आपको properly दिखें. links पर आप click करें, then you can go to other web pages. Okay, so that's why he came up with a new language that is called HTML. क्योंकि normal text में ये pages को हम इस तरीके से डिस्प्ले नहीं कर सकते, उसमें links insert नहीं कर सकते. ओके, इनिशियली दैट टाइम. अब तो आप देखेंगे ब्राउजर्स में लिंक्स ऑटोमेटिकली, आप MS ऑफिस में भी पेज बनाते हैं, उसमें भी लिंक्स ऐड हो जाती हैं. बट दैट इज नॉट योर वेब पेज, दैट इज अ नॉर्मल टेक्स्ट. So in order to all fulfill these requirements, he came up with a lot of concepts. Now it was also required that कि चूंकि आप एक पेज से दूसरे पेज पर मूव कर रहे हैं, so suppose and this page need to be displayed, क्योंकि ये जो टेक्स्ट है ये पेज HTML फॉर्म में सेव है. This page is saved on the server in a form of HTML file. और HTML file, you know that HTML क्या है. We I think everybody knows what is HTML and how a page is written in HTML. You have different tags. Those tags can be used to format your text. आपको let's say you want to represent certain part of the text as bold, so उसको bold रखने के लिए you provide appropriate tag. If you want to show your text in some piece of text in italic format, you use a proper tag. Italic tag is there. Okay, so the formatting information is written in form of a HTML code, and that HTML file is there. Okay, but you cannot show user HTML file because you not all users know HTML. Only computer the people that is having computer science background will be knowing HTML, but not other. It's not expected from that all other users will also know the HTML. So that's why it was required that you should have a application that will interpret or that will convert your HTML page and will display your page in a simple text. And formatted, that text will be formatted as per as per the specification in your HTML page. So this task is done by browser. Now since you are interlinking your web pages, and आप एक पेज पर है, एक पेज से आप दूसरे पेज पर जाएंगे, user will move to this page by clicking on the link. So it is required that you should have a mechanism so that जब एक पेज पर लिंक यूजर ने क्लिक किया, then you should have a mechanism so that server can give the linked page. So that means a kind of address is required, and or you can say that each document should have a identifier that is called URI. So he came up with the concept of URI also, uniform resource identifier, and then each document can be given also a object, sorry, a URL, that is uniform resource locator. So this is a kind of address of the object. So whatever objects, objects means web pages, images, PDFs, audios, videos, all these will be called objects that are associated with your web page. Okay, so each of these objects should have address. If they will not have address, then how server will be able to find them? Okay, and those address should be hidden behind the link. तो जब आप किसी URL पर क्लिक करते हैं तो आपको मालूम है कि जो किसी लिंक पर क्लिक करते हैं उसके पीछे URL एक हिडन है, and URL contains the address of that web page that will help the server to know where that object is in its directory or in its memory. जो secondary memory है उसमें वो object है कहाँ पर, and then उस address से server is able to know that this is the object that is located in this directory or in subdirectory, and then it retrieves that and delivers that object to the content. So each object also is given a unique address that is called URL. So this web page will also have URL, है ना? Let's say like cusb .ac.in/home, and then हो सकता है ये हो cusb.ac.in/cs department, like that, and so on. So each object have a address of this address is called URL. Okay, so all these terminologies were developed by Tim Berners-Lee. I will not go into the details actually, otherwise a lot of time will be consumed. Okay, now let me explain what is a URL. That is the important part. So as I told you that each of the object that is placed on the server will have a URL and it will contain something like that. So this part www.someschool.edu, it will be your host name. So it actually helps to understand or help to identify on which machine this content is. Okay. However, generally this host is represented by IP address. We will see that, but ultimately this IP address need to be converted into this kind of stuff. And then this is some department underscore pic.gif. This is the path of the file, this pic.file in the machine, or in which machine? This machine, जिसको host refer कर रहा है. So it is actually a address of a document where this part contains the name of the machine on which the content is there, and this is the location. होम डायरेक्टरी के अंदर सम DEPT नाम से फोल्डर है, उसके अंदर ये फाइल है. So it is representing the path. Okay, now the important point that we want to discuss here is HTTP protocol, not www. We do not want to discuss www, but we want to discuss actually HTTP protocol. So HTTP protocol is used to transfer hypertext from server to client. Okay, or sometimes you can also send something to client to server also. Hypertext means the things that is you have published on a server. Okay, so in a web protocol, the web protocol was designed to transfer web pages from server machine to client. So suppose that you just created a web server and let's say you define your website there, you publish their website there. So for example, let's talk about CUSB. So CUSB have a website that is running on some server. So all the pages and the PDFs or images, audios, videos, whatever the university want to host, they have put all these things into onto this server, okay, in form of HTML and other web-based files. Okay. And now suppose that as a student you want to access university website from some remote location while you are connecting with internet. Okay, so this is internet by which you are interacting with the server. This is your server, and now your machine will be called client machine, which is using browser application. So this is the HTTP client. The browser software that you are using, browser, will be called HTTP client. Why we are calling browser as HTTP client? Because browser uses HTTP protocol to fetch content from there. So suppose that you want to access CUSB homepage. Okay, so what you will do? You will just write www.cusb.ac.in. Okay, and you put this content in your address bar of your browser. So what browser will do? Browser will by default, जब आप ये लिखते हैं तो by default there is a page index.php या index dot or you can say that home page actually. So whatever you, if you are writing this, actually it is translated in this. So that means you your client application sends a request to the server that please send me this page. So the server, since this is a URL, so server this indicates the address of the home page of the university website, and then आपके यहाँ से रिक्वेस्ट गई है एंड इधर से सर्वर जो है ना रिस्पॉन्स में उस पेज को आपको भेज देगा. एंड दिस पेज इन लेट्स से इन रिटन इन PHP और PHP में लिखा है तो ये PHP पेज होगा. इफ द वेबसाइट इज रिटन in completely HTML, then it will be HTML page, or it may be a page of any other language also. वो आप अपना होम पेज देखेंगे जब वेब पेज आपको डिलीवर होगा तो आपके उसमें पेज में जो एक्सटेंशन होगा उससे आपको पता चल जाएगा कौन सा पेज है. इट इज HTML पेज, ASP पेज, JSP पेज और व्हाटएवर. ओके, और PHP है तो PHP एक्सटेंशन होगा. एंड देन दिस पेज इज डिलीवर्ड टू योर ब्राउजर, and then browser will display the page to you and you will be able to see the home page of your university. Okay, now question arises how the HTTP client this request is being created and how this request is being reached to the server and how the server is interpreting or request कैसे समझ पा रहा है, and then how it is requesting or generating a response to the client. That means how this data transfer is actually taking place or how this communication is happening is actually dominated or is controlled by HTTP actually. Okay, so HTTP is a protocol that enables a client to retrieve contents from server, you can say that. Okay, so full form of HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol. So जैसे नाम से ही आप पता चल रहा है, hypertext transfer protocol. So it is a transfer protocol for what? To transfer hypertext from server to client. So if client want to extract or want to retrieve some hypertext file or associated objects, then it can use HTTP protocol. Okay. So it is a waves application layer protocol. So HTTP is a application layer protocol. Okay, so if you implement wave means client and server आप अपने implement कर रहे हैं, you are implementing a server, then you are using wave application actually. And wave application जो है HTTP को as a transport layer as a application layer protocol इस्तेमाल कर रहा है. So whenever you send any request to retrieve web page, आपने एक एप्लीकेशन बनाया है जो वेब पेजेस रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता है, यू कैन यूज HTTP फॉर दैट. सो योर एप्लीकेशन विल रिक्वेस्ट और विल यूज HTTP सर्विसेज. ठीक है, तो अब जी आपको कोई एप्लीकेशन बनाना है जहाँ पर वेब पेजेस आपको किसी सर्वर से डाउनलोड करके और उनके साथ वर्क करना है, देन यू कैन इंटीग्रेट HTTP प्रोटोकॉल which is an application layer protocol. It is a ready-made protocol. आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, just HTTP के functions फॉर्म में जो API अवेलेबल है, आपको अपने एप्लीकेशन में कॉल करके you can access the functions of HTTP. Okay, now let's talk about how HTTP works. So as I told you that HTTP is a client server based model. So it is an application layer protocol which follows client server model. Okay, so that means you can use HTTP if you are going to implement a client server based application. So here the requirement is that you will have a server that is running 24/7 hours. For example, many servers are there. Generally जो ना जो कॉमन सर्विस सर्वर सबसे ज्यादा यूज होता है इंटरनेट पर, दैट इज अपाचे वेब सर्वर, दैट इज डेवलप्ड बाय अपाचे. माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का भी वेब सर्वर है IIS, आपने नाम सुना होगा, इंटरनेट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्वर. एंड देयर इज आल्सो वन सर्वर लिंक्स, कुछ नाम है ऐसा, आई एम नॉट रिमेंबरिंग एग्जैक्ट नेम. Okay, so it follows client server architecture. That means there will be a client. Client का काम क्या होगा? The client job of the client, which is a browser actually, is to display web pages. तो जो भी वेब पेज आपको आएगा आपके ब्राउजर या क्लाइंट एप्लीकेशन का काम क्या होगा? जस्ट उसे रेंडर करके, दैट मीन्स उसको प्रॉपर फॉर्म में डिस्प्ले करना है. ओके, सो इट विल नॉट डिस्प्ले योर द HTTP और HTML टेक्स्ट और HTML फाइल या जो भी आपकी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में जो फाइल लिखी हुई है वो नहीं डिस्प्ले करता है. वो इट विल ट्रांसलेट और रेंडर योर फाइल एंड इट विल डिस्प्ले इट इन फॉर्म ऑफ ए नॉर्मल पेज जहाँ पे हाइपरलिंक्स हो सकती हैं, बट लॉट ऑफ कंटेंट्स विल बी हिडन फ्रॉम यू. जिस तरीके की फॉर्मेटिंग इंस्ट्रक्शंस है उसके अकॉर्डिंग योर वेब पेज विल बी फॉर्मेटेड. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर वेब पेज में लिखा है कि हेडिंग शुड बी इन बोल्ड, देन इट विल डिस्प्ले हेडिंग इन द बोल्ड. Okay, so all these tasks will be done by browser. So browser properly display your web page, okay, as per the commands that are written in the corresponding file, program file, or the file of the web page actually. Then you have a server. What server does? Server actually host all the contents or all the web pages or web files that you have created to implement your servers. Okay, and what its job is, it waits for any request that is coming from client. Once it receives a request from a client, then it delivers the request content to the client. If the content is not there, then it will give its appropriate answer as per that situation. Okay, so how the things works? Simply you can see that your PC, which is running in, let's say, application, browser application, let's say Chrome. So if you want to retrieve a web page, you just give an address of that web page, URL आपने दिया, and then this client, that is Chrome, Google Chrome, will send a HTTP request to the server, जो सर्वर आपने उसमें URL में स्पेसिफाई किया है, and then server will receive your request. It may accept your request, it may also reject your request, depends. Okay, once server accepts your request, then it will create a response packet, that is HTTP response packet. Okay, HTTP response packet बनाया, उसमें जो आपका कंटेंट मांगा है, that content is being put into that packet, and then it sends the response to the client. So in this way it interacts with all of the clients that are interacting with server, and this is a client server based protocol. So server can handle multiple clients simultaneously. Now कितने client को handle करेगा, it will depend on the resources that are available to with server. सर्वर पर ज्यादा resources हैं, then it can handle more clients. So resources means computing power, memory power, bandwidth, all that. Now, as I told you that HTTP, now you can notice here that HTTP uses two kind of messages. One is called HTTP request and HTTP response. We will talk about these formats. So as I told you that a protocol specifies, first thing is that what will be the message, type of messages. Okay, so HTTP specifies two type of messages that can be sent. HTTP request, इसकी फॉर्मेट के बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे, इनकी क्या फॉर्मेट है. एंड देन there is a different message kind HTTP response. Now, as I told you that protocol also specifies what kind of messages can be sent by whom and in what situation. So HTTP request is always sent by browser, that means your client. So client can use this packet or this message to demand or request something from the server. So whatever client want to receive from server, it will specify that thing in this message form, in this message. So this message have a fixed format. client को जो भी चाहिए वो उसके लिए जो required format है उसके according एक packet prepare करेगा and then it will deliver that packet to the receiver. Now this packet is sent by server to client. Now what is the server of this message? Whenever server want to deliver something to the client, whatever response it want to give, so it will depend on response क्या आएगा, it will depend on request, क्या request किया गया है. So depending on the request, it will deliver a response. Now response में this packet may be empty, it may contain the requested objects by the receiver, or sometimes any kind of error message, warning message और जो भी है. So it will depend on the request. Okay, so server will deliver this response message to client against a request. ध्यान रखना है, बिना response request के कोई भी response generate नहीं होता है, because you know that protocol specify करता है कि कौन सा response या कौन सा packet किस केस में जाएगा, which message will be delivered in what case. So this message will be delivered only when server receives a request. So there is a rule कि कब request की जा सकती है, किस तरीके से request की जा सकती है, what will be the response of the server, what kind of response server may give. All these are specified by your protocol, and protocol also specifies the formats of these messages. Okay, so only HTTP allow only, let's understand or let's remember that HTTP allows only two type of messages: HTTP request message and HTTP response message. Now, as I told you that any application layer protocol that ever want to do data transmission using internet or over internet requires services of transport layer protocol. At least one transport layer protocol they need to choose. So generally, actually there are two transport layer protocols, TCP and UDP is there. But since this waves or this application wave does actually data transfer, or actually it is a kind of text based service actually. Here if you lose certain part, some part of web page, then it may change meaning completely. Okay, so it is very important that you should not lost any part of your web page or any content actually text. So that means this application cannot tolerate any kind of error. So that's why the developer of HTTP considered TCP as the transport protocol, because TCP does the reliable delivery. So HTTP requires reliable delivery. So that's why HTTP has selected TCP as a transport layer protocol for data delivery. So now HTTP uses services of TCP for sending request and response messages. ध्यान रखना है. So all the request and response messages are sent over a TCP connection. Now you remember that whenever you want to do data transfer using TCP, there is a connection that is need to be established between client and server. So जब भी client को कुछ required है, it will establish, or a connection will be established between client and server. And who will establish this connection? HTTP protocol की responsibility है. ठीक है, और HTTP के यूज होने के टाइम पर जब आपका एप्लीकेशन लेयर कंप्लीट जो प्रोटोकॉल है, इट विल एस्टैब्लिश ए HTTP कनेक्ट, a TCP connection between client application and server application. So client application means your web browser, server application means web server application like Apache या इंटरनेट इंफॉर्मेशन सर्वर, जो भी आपका सॉफ्टवेयर वहां सर्वर के तौर पर रन कर रहा है, जिस पर कंटेंट होस्टेड है. ओके, सो there will be a connection setup होगा आपके Apache, let's say Apache web server is there, then Apache web server और आपका browser let's say Mozilla, or it may be a Chrome also. तो जो भी ब्राउजर होगा, तो क्लाइंट और सर्वर के बीच में एक TCP कनेक्शन सेटअप होगा. एंड देन whatever request is sent need to be sent by the client will be sent over that TCP connection and उसी TCP connection पर response आएगा. Okay, so now you know that client always initiates communication. Okay, in web server client server architecture, you know that always it is the client that initiates communication. So obviously since client is initiating connection, so client also initiate the TCP connection. ठीक है, पहले क्योंकि रिक्वेस्ट जानी होती है, so obviously client side से पहले TCP connection initiate होगा. Okay, so how data delivered you we have discussed already. So जो if you talk about HTTP, तो HTTP क्या करेगा, केवल जो सॉकेट है उसको डेटा डिले देगा. TCP सॉकेट जो होगा, व्हेन कनेक्शन सेटअप हो जाएगा तो एक सॉकेट दोनों साइड क्रिएट होता है, एंड देन HTTP का काम क्या होगा, जस्ट नीड टू गिव द पैकेट टू दैट सॉकेट, एंड देन दैट सॉकेट TCP को देगा, एंड TCP विल डिलीवर द डेटा टू द रेसिपिएंट साइड सॉकेट, एंड देन वहां से डेटा आपकी जो सर्वर है उसको डिलीवर हो जाएगा. Okay, so the steps have been described here. Client initiate TCP connection to server at port number 80. As I told you that it is always required that every process need to be identified uniquely. So process को identify करने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं, पोर्ट नंबर इस्तेमाल करते हैं. एंड जनरली जो TCP जो HTTP का सर्वर है, it interacts on पोर्ट नंबर 80. तो आपकी एक मशीन पर HTTP सर्वर जो रन कर रहा है, that will use port number 80 to receive packet. तो रिसीविंग जो सर्वर है आपका, सर्वर का जो सर्वर प्रोसेस जो रन कर रही है, लेट्स से अपाचे सर्वर जो है, it will run on port number 80, or you can say that Apache web server which is running on your machine in form of a process, this process will have port number or identifier, application identifier 80. ओके, इट इज ऑलवेज 80. ध्यान रखना है कि वो सर्वर जो हमेशा पोर्ट नंबर 80 पर रन करता है, बिकॉज सर्वर कैन बी कॉन्टेक्टेड बाय ए क्लाइंट एट एनी टाइम. सो सर्वर शुड रन ऑन ए वेल नोन पोर्ट नंबर, वेल नोन आइडेंटिटी होना चाहिए सर्वर की, जिससे कोई भी कभी भी आसानी से क्लाइंट जो है सर्वर को कॉन्टेक्ट कर पाए. सो दैट्स व्हाई द वेब सर्वर रन्स ऑन पोर्ट नंबर 80. ओके, सर्वर एक्सेप्ट TCP कनेक्शन फ्रॉम क्लाइंट. सो सबसे पहले क्लाइंट ने TCP सपोज कनेक्शन इनिशिएट किया. सर्वर इफ सर्वर इज रेडी और विलिंग टू टेक द कनेक्शन, इट विल एक्सेप्ट द TCP कनेक्शन. नाउ जब सर्वर ने TCP कनेक्शन एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, तो TCP कनेक्शन इज ऑलवेज ए टू वे कनेक्शन, बाई डायरेक्शनल. सो इतना होने पर स्टेप 2 में क्लाइंट से सर्वर तक TCP कनेक्शन एस्टेब्लिश हो गया है, बट सर्वर विल ऑल्सो सेंड समथिंग. तो बाई डायरेक्शनल कनेक्शन सेटअप होना चाहिए. तो सर्वर भी फिर क्या करता है, सर्वर ऑल्सो सेंड इन दिस प्रोसेस, एक्चुअली सर्वर ऑल्सो सेंड्स ए पैकेट दैट इज कॉल्ड कंट्रोल पैकेट. वी विल टॉक अबाउट दैट. तो सर्वर भी फिर अपनी तरफ से कनेक्शन इनिशिएट करके एक कनेक्शन सेटअप कर लेता है, एंड वंस द कनेक्शन इज सेटअप, देन HTTP मैसेज कैन बी सेंट ओवर दिस connection. So what HTTP will do now, your HTTP will actually with the help of HTTP protocol, actually your client will send a request message. अगर client want to suppose that retrieve a web page, so it will create a request message and HTTP request message, and then this message will be given to TCP, and TCP protocol will deliver that content, this request message to your web server. Okay, and then once web server receives the request message from client, it will go through that request message. That means it will process that request message, and whatever content is demanded in that packet, if that content is available, server will deliver that content. How the server will deliver that content? It will create a HTTP response message. उसमें जो भी कंटेंट है वो पुट करेगा, कुछ हेडर जो भी ऐड करना है वो ऐड करेगा, whatever information is there that need to be added, and then this message will be handed over to TCP protocol. TCP protocol will deliver that response to the client side socket, and client side socket से जो है आपका message will be delivered to browser, and then browser will display your web page. Okay, so let me show you this process actually. So suppose that a connection, TCP connection is established between both of these. This is your server that is running here on port number 80. There is a server process. Let's say it is Apache, and it is running on port number 80. And now you know that both of these will be connected by, ये जो connection है actually they will be ended with some socket. तो ये connection आपके TCP socket से, so this socket is a TCP socket, ध्यान रखना, both are TCP socket. So suppose that your client that is your Chrome browser जो कि यहाँ रन कर रहा है Chrome प्रोसेस के फॉर्म में, it is connected with this, and similarly यहाँ आपका सर्वर है, ये सॉकेट से कनेक्टेड है. तो Chrome, let's say Chrome sends a request, Chrome के थ्रू आपने रिक्वेस्ट सेंड की, so it will create a request message that will be delivered to this TCP socket, and TCP socket will take that packet here and then it will send your request message, okay, this request message, and this request message will reach to this socket. यहाँ socket में आने के बाद once your message comes here, TCP socket will deliver this message to your web server. So web server के पास आ गया जो कि port number 80 पर रन कर रहा है, this request message has come, and then this web server will see this request message. That means it will process that request message and accordingly it will create a response message, और जो response message है this will be given to this socket. जैसे ही socket आया यहाँ से TCP लेकर के जाएगा इस response message को, and then it will hand over this response message to this socket. और इस socket से ये आपका Chrome browser connected है, so ये socket से आपका data Chrome browser के पास चला गया. अब जो भी response में कुछ आया है, whatever is there, Chrome will display on your screen. So this is how the communication will take place. Obviously before this एक TCP connection setup होना होगा request message के जाने से पहले, और socket setup होंगे. Yes.
सर हमारे नेक्स्ट क्लास है सर.
Okay, so let's close here. आगे हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में बात करेंगे इसके बारे में फर्दर. So we will see the formats of actually और TCP connections का concept क्या है, किस टाइप के connections HTTP यूज कर सकता है, all these we'll see in our next class.